Guys, welcome back to the Guardian Show. It's me, Kylie. Today I'm just going to be doing a podcast by myself, as you can tell if you're watching. But today I just wanted to come on and talk about what God has called me to do and about just that and what I believe and what God says about what my passion is. And if you don't know, my passion or my calling from God is teaching little kids. And I see every day kids who are just so hungry for God, and it really just blows my mind. I wish I had that as a kid. But the first thing that I want to talk about is the impact that parents have on their kids. And if they aren't teaching, I don't want to come on and seem like I'm just crapping on parents and saying that they're doing horrible, but I witness every single day kids, and myself, I'm a personal example of kids who don't know God and don't understand right from wrong, and they just do stuff because their parents do it. I work with preschoolers that cuss, that say the most random things because their parents say it. And I also went through kind of the same things that they went through. I feel especially nowadays in this society too, the parenting, they don't think that they have such an effect on their kids until they get told by the teacher, get a call, hey, your kid was saying this in class. I don't know why, but they were. And parents and teachers need to understand the impact that they really have on kids. If you the verse Titus 2:7, in everything set an example by doing what's good. And even if you don't think somebody's watching you, kids or literally anybody, especially nowadays, there's always cameras everywhere, somebody's always watching. I don't know, the amount of things that I've been talking with my coworkers or talking to somebody about, and then the kids will go and copy it and say exactly what I just said. I'm just I didn't think that you were listening, but they do. They listen to everything. And that's why it is so important. Can't even stress that enough, that kids grow up in a Christian, godly household. It really does affect them. And whenever they go into school, and whenever if you put your kid into Christian private school or public school, if you have that foundation, it's setting them up for the best success and the best them that they can be. And I personally, if I ever had kids, I would not put them into public school with how corrupt everything is nowadays and all just the worldliness that has corrupted public schools. I would put my kids into private school so that they learn God, that they learn the truth, they learn what they're supposed to do. Because I went through 16 years of my life of knowing God, I guess. I was more of a lukewarm Christian. I knew the basics, but I didn't know what my calling was, what I was really supposed to be doing in this world. But I went 16 years without knowing that. Now that I know, I feel like a whole new person, and I just feel that all kids should start with that foundation. And I'm so blessed to work at a daycare that does teach the Bible and stuff like that. Even though there are kids there that are Jehovah's Witnesses and who aren't exactly Christian, but still getting to teach them, it just, my heart, it melts my heart every time. But one way, if you're wondering, how can I teach my kid, like, how can I incorporate, like, God into everyday activities, like, into doing something so that, like, kids, if you're just sitting there reading the Bible, like, they're not gonna care. They're gonna get bored. That's just a fact. They don't even listen whenever I read picture books to them. You have to, like, incorporate it into something. So, like, for me, I do a lot of crafts with my kids, and, like, while I do those crafts, it's usually, like, 2 of them at a time. I'll be like, yeah, you know why we're doing this? Because God, this. Like, for Christmas, I'll be like, yeah, God was born on this day. Like, do you guys know the story of Christmas? Do you guys know the story of Easter? Do you know why we celebrate this? Like, and just all that stuff. Yeah. But a lot of kids, like, nowadays especially, they don't understand, like, right from wrong, whether that be in kindergarten or, like, in high school. Kids just, they don't understand. Like, I went through it. I was doing stuff that I regret, and obviously I can't change it. So now it's just, like, my story and what I tell people, like, what happened to me and stuff. But I use that, like, I used my personal experience as a testimony to, like, help other people who are maybe going through the same thing. Like, I did stupid stuff whenever I was in high school. But most, like, kids, especially nowadays, like, they just don't understand right from wrong. I deal with it every day with kids who have older brothers who they wrestle with. So then they think that it's okay to come into school and wrestle with the other kids, or just yeah, like, kids just don't understand. Like, I would do stuff that I knew, obviously I know, like, the stuff that I did in high school was not good, but whenever, like, I came to know God and actually understand, like, why it wasn't good and what our calling was and, like, what my calling was, that's whenever everything finally started clicking. And I could have easily used, like, all the stuff that happened to me as, like, an excuse or, like, a reason, like, not to believe and stuff like that, but I didn't. I used it as a testimony and, like, learning from it. Like, I feel like nowadays people just are always like, oh, poor me, like, all this stuff happened in my life, like, look what's happening to me, like, my life is so bad, like, you guys don't even know, and they take it onto social media, and instead of using it to, like, glorify God, like, instead of looking at all the negative, look at what God's doing for you. Look at what God's doing in your life. Like, my personal favorite Bible verse is John 13:7, and Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I'm doing, but later you will understand." And that verse, like, no matter what you're going through, like, no matter what, I feel like just helps. Because you might not understand what God is doing now, but later you will understand. And I've definitely gone through a rabbit hole. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.